Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we shall be discussing infectious disease drugs. So in today's video we shall be learning how to treat infectious disease. So at the end of the lesson we shall be able to know common drugs for infections. Okay, as we all know, there are different types of infections. For example, we have bacterial infection, we have virus infection, we have fungal infection, and we have parasitic infection. So we shall see one by one. So the first one we have is antibiotics beta-lactam. So what are antibiotics beta-lactam? So let us define now what mean antibiotics beta-lactam. So these are antibiotics, these are antibiotics, these are antibiotics which contain these are antibiotics, these are antibiotics that contain a beta-lactam, ring, a beta-lactam ring in their chemical structure, So antibiotics beta-lactam, these are antibiotics that contain a beta-lactam ring in their chemical structure. So they are used to treat a gram-positive and a gram-negative bacteria, So they are used to treat a gram-positive and a gram-negative bacteria. So they are divided into two. They are divided into two categories. So antibiotics beta-lactam, these are antibiotics that contain a beta-lactam ring in their chemical structure. They are used to treat a gram-positive and a gram-negative bacteria. They are divided into two. So let us see them now. So they are divided into two categories, penicillin and cephalosporin. So antibiotics beta-lactam are divided into two categories. They are divided into penicillin and cephalosporin. So let us see now the penicillins. The first one we have is amoxicillin. Amoxicillin. So the first one we have is amoxicillin, which is also known as brand name Amoxil. So the first one we have is amoxicillin, or in bracket we can call amoxil. So as we all know, drugs have two names. The first one is generic name, that is the chemical name. We also have amoxil, and that is a brand name, the designation of the company who is selling the drug. So amoxicillin is antibiotics beta-lactam, which falls under penicillin. So let us see the second one. So the second we have amoxicillin. The second we have is amoxicillin. Amoxicillin is stroke. Amoxicillin is stroke clavulanate. Clavulanate, which is also known as augmentin. So we have amoxicillin is stroke clavulanate, which is also known as augmentin. So they are antibiotics beta-lactam under the group of penicillins. Okay, let us see the other one. We have ampicillin. We also have ampicillin. So ampicillin is also antibiotics beta-lactam under the group of penicillins. Okay, we also have coloxacillin. So coloxacillin is also antibiotics beta-lactam, which falls under the group of penicillins. Okay, let us see the second one. We also have benzyl. Penicillin, which is also known as penicillin G. Which is also known as penicillin G. So we have benzyl penicillin, which is also known as penicillin G. Okay, let us see the other one. We also have phenoxymethylpenicillin, which is also known as penicillin V. So we also have phenoxymethylpenicillin, which is also known as in bracket penicillin V. Okay, so these are penicillins. Now let us see their uses. So they are used to treat severe infection of the middle ear, for example, otitis media, bronchitis, pneumonia, infection of the genitals, urinary tract infection, typhoid infections, neurosyphilis, septicemia, endocarditis, meningitis. So all these antibiotics, they are used to treat severe infections like respiratory tract infection, infection of the kidney, urinary tract infection, infection of the urinary system, typhoid fever, and pneumonia, bronchitis, meningitis, inflammation of the meninges, the membrane that cover the brain, endocarditis, inflammation of the heart. So all these penicillins, they are also to treat a number of severe infections. Okay, now let us see the other group, cephalosporins. Okay, let us now see the group of cephalosporins. So cephalosporins are antibiotics which contain cephalosporin C in the chemical structure. They are obtained from a fungus plant called Cephalosporium. So let us now see their examples. The first one we have is cefazolin, which is IV. Cefazolin. So the first one we have is cefazolin, which is IV, that is parental, it is not oral. So we have cefazolin. So cefazolin is antibiotic beta-lactam, which falls in the group of cephalosporins. Okay, We also have cephalexin. We also have cephalexin. We also have cephalexin. So cephalexin is also antibiotic, beta-lactam antibiotics, which falls under the group of cephalosporins. So the other one we have is cefuroxime. So cefuroxime is also a beta-lactam antibiotics, which falls in the group of cephalosporins, which is oral. So we also have ceftriaxone. So ceftriaxone, which is IV, which is parental. Okay, so ceftriaxone is an injection, which is IV, that is parental. It is given through the vein. So ceftriaxone is also a beta-lactam antibiotics, which falls in the group of cephalosporins. Okay, the other one we have is cefixime. We also have cefixime. So cefixime is a oral, which is tablet or in syrup form. So it's also a beta-lactam antibiotics, which falls under the group of cephalosporins. So all these, they are used to treat a gram-positive and a gram-negative bacteria. For example, severe infection, that is septicemia, and pneumonia, bronchitis, typhoid fever, urinary tract infection, cholera, BID, that is pelvic inflammatory disease. So they are used to treat a number of infections, which I have stated above. For example, they are used to treat severe infection like pneumonia, bronchitis, urinary tract infection. Pelvic inflammatory disease is an infection of the fallopian tube, typhoid fever, cholera, and respiratory tract infection or kidney infections, that is pyelonephritis. So these are antibiotics which falls under the group of cephalosporins. They are used to treat a gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So let us see the other category, which is called macrolide. Okay, let us see the other group, the second group, which is macrolides. So macrolides, these are antibiotics. These are antibiotics having a macrocyclic lactone in their chemical structure. So macrolides, these are antibiotics having a macrocyclic lactone in their chemical structure. They act by inhibiting a bacterial protein synthesis. They act by inhibiting a bacterial protein synthesis. By combining 50 by combining 50 ribosome subunits. So these are antibiotics having a macrocyclic electron in their chemical structure. They act by inhibiting a bacterial protein synthesis by combining 50 ribosome subunits. They are used to treat both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So they include the following. The first one we have is azithromycin. So azithromycin is an antibiotic which falls under the group of macrolides. Okay, the second one we have is erythromycin. So erythromycin is also a macrolide antibiotics. We also have clarithromycin. We also have clarithromycin is also a macrolide antibiotics. Okay, we also have spiramycin. So spiramycin is also a macrolide antibiotics. Okay, we also have tetracycline. So tetracycline is also a macrolide antibiotics. So they are used to treat a number of infections like in cholera, typhoid infection, otitis media infection of the middle ear, pneumonia, bronchitis, urinary tract infection, pelvic inflammatory disease. So they are used to treat a number of infections. Okay, let us see other categories. Okay, let us also see the third category, that is fluoroquinolones. So these are synthetic antimicrobials. So these are synthetic antimicrobials that are active primarily they are active against gram negative and gram positive bacteria. So fluoroquinolones, these are synthetic antimicrobials that are active primarily against gram negative and gram positive bacteria. So let us see them one by one. The first one we have is ciprofloxacin. Ciprofloxacin. So ciprofloxacin is antibiotics, is an infectious agent which falls under the group of fluoroquinolones. Okay, we also have levofloxacin. So levofloxacin is also antibiotics which is used to treat a gram positive and gram negative bacteria, for it's an infectious agent. Okay, we also have norfloxacin. So norfloxacin is also antibiotics which falls under the group of fluoroquinolones. They are used to treat a gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. So we also have moxifloxacin. So moxifloxacin is also fluoroquinolones antibiotics which is used to treat a number of infections. So the last one we have is ofloxacin. So fluoroquinolones, these are synthetic. Synthetic means they are chemically produced antimicrobial agents that are active primarily against the gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. So for you to treat infection of the kidney, you can use levofloxacin. For you to treat infection of the prostatitis, which is inflammation of the prostate gland, you can use to treat levofloxacin or ciprofloxacin. So for you to use or to treat infection like typhoid and cholera, you can still use ciprofloxacin or levofloxacin, and you can only use to treat typhoid fever. Okay, all these, they are antimicrobial agents which destroy gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. So they are also used to treat urinary tract infection. So you can treat urinary tract infection, pyelonephritis, infection of the kidney, typhoid fever, cholera, infection of the intestine, that is amoebiasis or bacillary dysentery. So all these drugs, they are very useful in treating such infections. So let us see other antibiotics agents. Okay, we also have other antibiotic agents. For example, we have doxycycline, we also have clindamycin. Vancomycin, nitrofurantoin, we also have nalidixic acid, we also have nalidixic acid. So we also have nalidixic acid. Okay, we also have sulfur. Methoxole, stroke, trimethoprim, which is also known as Bactrim, So these are other antibiotic agents which are used to treat a number of infections like urinary tract infection, typhoid fever, cholera, skin infection, and infection of the middle ear or otitis media, and all that. So they are antibiotics agents which are used to treat any type of like bacterial infection. So let us see antifungal medication. Let us see now antifungal medications. So what are antifungal medications? So these are the agents are the agents used to treat superficial and systemic fungal infections. So antifungal medications, these are the agents used to treat superficial and systemic fungal infection. So they include the following. The first one we have is nystatin. So nystatin is an antifungal medication which is used to treat oral thrush or oral candidiasis. So nystatin, it is used to treat oral thrush or oral candidiasis. Okay, we also have fluconazole. So fluconazole is an antifungal medication which is used to treat fungal infection of the skin like tinea capitis, tinea pedis, skull ringworm, or arthritis foot. Okay, we also have griseofulvin. So griseofulvin is an antifungal medication which is used to treat fungal skin infection like eczema and skull ringworm, tinea capitis, tinea pedis, or any other fungal skin infection. Okay, we also have ketoconazole. So ketoconazole is an antifungal medication which is used to treat superficial or systemic fungal infection, as I have stated above. Okay, we also have itraconazole. So itraconazole is also antifungal medication which is used to treat superficial and systemic fungal infection. Okay, we have the following is, for example, we have clotrimazole. So clotrimazole, it can either be tablet or cream. So it is used to treat superficial or systemic fungal infection. We also have miconazole. So miconazole is also antifungal medication which is used to treat superficial and systemic skin fungal infection. Okay, we also have benzoic acid. So benzoic acid, which is a compound of white pill, benzoic acid and zinc oxide, it's also used to treat a superficial fungal infection that is locally. Okay, we also have terbinafine. Okay, the second one we have is terbinafine. So terbinafine is also antifungal medication which is used to treat superficial and systemic fungal infection. So these are the list of antifungal medications. Okay, let us see Antiprotozoa or antihelminthics. So these are the agents. These are the agents used to treat intestinal parasites. So Antiprotozoa or antihelminthics, these are the agents used to treat intestinal parasites like whipworm, threadworm, roundworm, ascariasis, or giardiasis, or giardia lambia. So let us see them one by one. The first one we have is metronidazole. The first one is metronidazole. So we have metronidazole. So metronidazole is a antiprotozoa or antihelminthic. Okay, we also have tinidazole. Tinidazole is a antiprotozoa drug which is used to treat intestinal parasites like giardia lambia, roundworm, beanworm, threadworm, and weebworm. Okay, we also have albendazole. Albendazole is also antiprotozoa drug which is used to treat intestinal parasites. Okay, we also have mebendazole. Mebendazole is also antihelminthic or antiprotozoa drug which is used to treat intestinal parasites. Okay, the last one we have is praziquantel. So praziquantel is a antihelminthic, like it is used to treat Schistosomiasis bilharzia, the flak infection. So praziquantel is used to treat flak infections which is caused by Schistosomiasis or bilharzia. Okay, let us also see antivirals. So antiviral medications. So these are drugs which are used to treat viral infections and diseases. So these are the agents. Used to treat viral infections and diseases. So antiviral medication. So these are the agents used to treat viral infections and diseases, like we have herpes simplex virus or influenza or HIV infection. So antiviral are medication which are used to treat disease like herpes simplex virus, influenza, and HIV infection. So the following are antiviral medications. The first one we have is acyclovir. Acyclovir is antiviral medication which is used to treat herpes simplex virus, influenza. Okay, we also have valacyclovir. Okay, the third we have is famiciclovir. Okay, we also have abacavir. Okay, we also have ritonavir. So these are antiviral medications which is used to treat herpes simplex virus and influenza. Exceptions. So we have one medication called tenofovir. So tenofovir is antiviral medication which is used to treat HIV infection. So tenofovir is an antiviral medication which is used to treat a HIV infection, but the rest are acyclovir, valacyclovir, famciclovir, abacavir, and ritonavir. They are used to treat herpes simplex virus and influenza. So these are the list of anti-infectious drugs.